my cold open question of the week, Des.
Hey.
With over 270 characters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, we've seen our fair share of character animations over the years. What comes to mind as your favorite and least favorite animations in the game? Now, I have some in my head, but I want to give you a chance to go first if you got one.
Oh, goodness gracious. So the first one that comes to my mind is, oh gosh, I think it was, I know, biased answer here, but it was the mothers, because like the graphic on that second special, just right with the clouds and just the sounds and the creepy. It's fantastic. I really think they
Yes.
knocked it out of the park on that one. It's so very good.
Yeah, it's very
Love
good.
it.
You're referring to the Great Mothers and not Mother Talzin,
Mhm.
correct? Yep, I
The
agree.
Great Mothers, yeah, absolutely.
So
They
I had a few as well. BT1's AOE, where he kind of
Yeah.
spins around and launches a bunch of missiles, and I really enjoy that one. I think there's a good one that we everybody. I don't think anyone's gotten tired of this. The good old Annihilate from Darth Nihilus, like that thing just when that thing hits, it hits and it just feels so good.
It does. It does. Like you can almost feel the little tingle come up, right? Like you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. Oh,
Shock. Yeah, you do
right,
it.
right in the kisser.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
and then we've got Whistling Birds, which is a popular one from Mandalorian, and then I
All right.
like Ezra's slide attack. The new Ezra, have you seen his like slide and attack?
I have not. I just unlocked him like maybe a week ago.
Yeah, I just got mine a week ago as well. So, but he's pretty cool, man. He's pretty cool. What about annoying animations? Anything that you're like autoing, and you're just like, come on, get done. Like, ugh. I've got one, but you go ahead.
I've got a love-hate relationship with the one where Jar Jar's kicking the droid and flopping over, because is
Yeah.
it funny? Is it fantastic? Yes. But is it just like nails on a chalkboard while you're waiting on it to finish?
Yeah.
Also, yes. Also,
I feel the exact same way about Marin's fade in and fade out thing that she does, where
right.
she like phases in and out like that. Like when you're trying to auto and she's doing that, and it sort of like weirdly like pauses the game. Like that's just really annoying. I don't know.
Mhm.
And then a weird one I have here is: have you seen General Syndulla's like Valley Girl impression that she does?
I have not. I haven't gotten her fully functional yet.
Yeah,
What's
I
it
mean,
look like?
she just does like this weird, like mocking, like conversational talk, like she's talking to herself. I'm like trying to rack my brain. I'm like, did this happen in Ahsoka? Like, what is this in reference to? So, guys, if you know in chat what that's a reference to, like, I would love to know, because it looks like she's just doing a Valley Girl impression, which is just like the weirdest thing. So, those are the ones I had. But awesome. Thanks for being here, Des. We've got a lot to talk about today. A new community milestone event popping off. Massive Jocasta new Q&A post that went up on Friday. And the new Conquest has begun for her. We're going to get into all of that and more. Do your part. Hit that like button. And let's start the show.
Ignite your passion and embrace the glow of the Holotables.
This is it.
Broadcasting live just beyond the Dune Sea, we join the heartthrob of the Outer Rim, UrzZz.
Hello, what have we here?
Welcome to Love on the Holotables, an absolutely unremarkable yet ridiculous Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
It's a trap.
It's time to lock those S-foils in a chill position and head on down to the big Holotable for all the latest action.
This is Red 5. I'm going in.
Well, hooty hoo, and a big hello from me to you. My name is UrzZz, and I'd like to welcome you all back to Love on the Holotables. Today, we're joined by a very special guest, a woman who has spent many nights on the tables and in our very own hall, a true gem of this community, having done some amazing charity work with RSG and the American Cancer Society. Desi Jinglesnarf, welcome to the show. How are you, dear?
Oh my gosh, so much better now that I'm here. Gosh, can we believe we're here? This is so exciting for me.
Desi's been around my community since the very beginning, and we were guildies at one point, and we've never even when I wasn't even playing this game, Des would always stop in and make sure she checked up on me. So it is a joy for me to welcome her back into the hall officially and on Love on the Holotables. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So good stuff. You've been doing a lot of work with RSG recently, right?
Yes, I have a whole lot of cosplay assistants and hauling things around. That has been the biggest part of it, just and the occasional co-hosting, helping with the actual construction of some of the things that
Yeah.
we've been doing. I had a big hand in actually painting and doing a lot of the maintenance on those costumes, but it feels great. Being a part of the community is wonderful, interacting with you all, being here for people who need them, that's one thing, but being able to put hands on and really make a difference in something, God, that's everything. That is
I
everything.
had no idea you were doing painting on some of the cosplay pieces. Because
Yeah.
I might need your services because I do a lot of 3D printing. A lot of the
Mhm.
props you see on the show are stuff that I've 3D printed,
Mhm.
and sometimes I get it right, and sometimes it just goes horribly, horribly wrong. So
Mhm.
I may need your services. So I didn't know you were doing a lot of the painting of his stuff. That's awesome. And by
Yeah.
him, I mean Ranger. So
No, Ranger has done a lot of like the big stuff, but I've been doing a lot of the fine work, a bit of the research on like, okay, how do we get this one specific thing to work? And a lot of the wiring of the electronics.
yeah.
That's been the big one. Woo-hoo-hoo, the stories I could tell. But that's for another time.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, right? Because like I have such a strong interest in this. If you guys watch the live stream, I do a lot of like cosplay and a lot of props, the actual Star Wars look and feel and authentic stuff.
Yes,
And
you do.
man, there is a ton that goes on behind all that, and I suck at it. But you see the real people that are good at it, and it's like wow. It's so cool. So we could do a whole show on that, but I agree, Des. We're here to talk about Galaxy of Heroes. So let's jump into the news here. Des, we've got a new community milestone event. Are you familiar with these?
Not yet, but tell me all about it.
Yeah. So community milestone is just basically they pick a game mode, and it's usually like Conquest. This one's Conquest. And they just pool the community energy that's been spent in Conquest, and they have like different milestones. So if 150 million Conquest energy is spent during this Conquest cycle, it'll be 20 Darth Malgus shards. 300 million, it goes to 20 Maul shards and Malgus. And then 450 million, it goes up. It just goes up from here. Then you start getting like signal data and stuff like that. Mod slicing materials and not mod slicing materials. These are Datacron slicing materials. And then quad maze in there. And then at the very highest level, it's like Luthen. And then the very, very ultimate level, which we didn't get to last time, is like the new Conquest character, Jocasta Nu, Quad Maid, Luthen, Malgus, and Maul. So it's like all of them plus the Datacron materials. So it just kind of just pulls all the community together and it just offers a milestone. So yeah, what do you think?
If that's fantastic. I hadn't been paying too terribly much attention. Not gonna lie, like I knew the milestones for a thing, but I just pulled this up. Oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. I love this. The rewards look pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was,
We all just got to pull together and get this thing done.
right? So it is interesting. We did not, everybody thought we were going to get it for Darkside Ray, and we didn't get the highest tier. I think we got the second highest tier. So it is, I can't imagine there's going to be more interest in Jocasta Nu than Darkside Ray. So I will be surprised and shocked by the community if we actually get the top tier reward here and all those shards.
Get on it, guys.
Get on it. There you go.
Get on it.
All right. So that is the community milestone event. Let's turn to the Jocasta Nu Q&A post. They had a massive post a few days ago, just sort of going through some of her questions that came in about the new kit. So I've sort of read through this. It's pretty lengthy read, guys. So we've just consolidated it down to the bits and pieces that seem important for everybody to know about. So the first thing is she's going to be a lifter for a soon announced legendary. And the legendary will be specifically for the Jedi Vanguard class that they're going to be applying to some of the legacy characters. What's your guess on who would be a legendary Jedi Vanguard?
Legendary Vanguard. Well, we've already got a list of all of our existing Jedi, right? Who are going to be getting that tag, but
So
Who could we
there-
add? So it's sourced from the comics, right? I think it was 9 and 10 Darth Vader's where it came
Yeah,
from.
well, that's where she comes from, but I think the Jedi Vanguard could essentially come from anywhere. Maybe it would be the comics. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like Jedi that have been in the game. So there's like Even Peel. He's like that goblin looking guy. We were sort of talking about him last week on the show. And then Zareth, who guested last week, he said that Yaddle might be it. And I was like, oh, wow. So there are some top tier Jedi they could probably roll out here.
See a Yaddle happen. You know what I would love more than
What?
anything?
Yeah.
I would love to see Quinlan Voss.
Yeah, I think we're probably due
would
for
be
that.
So epic.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, we are due. We are due for that. Quinlan Voss. I just there's a couple things that come to mind whenever we talk about Quinlan Voss. I think of his duel with Cad Bane and Obi-Wan. Cad handled them in the Clone War cartoon, and like that was fantastic. And
So
like,
good.
didn't he like get with Asajj in the lore? Isn't that like a thing?
He absolutely did. I mean, I don't
Wow.
know if that was supposed to be a Clone Wars episode, actually.
Oh,
and it's
really?
just
Okay.
a big series of them. Yeah, it never got made. And one of the ladies who was working on the Clone Wars was just like, well, we're just gonna make it a book then.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's
Yep.
how you do it right there. You make it.
hmm
I will make it legal.
We will make it true. And
Yeah.
yeah, really well written. Definitely recommend that one to y'all if you haven't checked it out. But
Okay. Okay.
give me some Quinlan.
Yeah, that would be cool. Okay, so we have the next sort of bit here is no ties with Snips with this Jocasta new kit, despite them having an entire episode together. I don't remember that episode, but I guess she was probably helping Snips like research something or something.
Pretty
or other.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some baddie in the library. I think Cad Bane was involved in that.
Okay. Yeah. And then the next up here is there's going to be no ties to Grand Inquisitor. They wanted to include it because I guess it's from the comic. But there's an upcoming Jedi Vanguard character that will have a nod to the Grand Inquisitor. I guess that's from the comic. Do you the comic? Do you know what I'm referring to there? I have no idea on this one.
I am aware of what you're referring to. I haven't read it myself, and I'm going to have to go do that now. I might have to go back and revise my answers later, but I feel like the key to whatever we're trying to figure out, it's going to be in those two comics.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Maybe I will go check those out. Actually.
Yeah, because that's where her whole gun thing came from.
The lightsaber into the ammunition chamber.
Rifle.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. And then the next thing we have here is 3 GAC. They're GAC Amis, not TW or anything, for Jocasta. One on the basic, one on the special, and one on the unique. I wonder if that's going to be like the standard for these characters that come out of Conquest. Do you know if like Quadme and like Luthen has 3, Ray DSV has 3? Do they all have 3? I'm just thinking off the top of my head here. Ezra?
What
I
Sith
think
did we
Ezra
get?
does,
Was
too.
it Bane? Did he?
Yeah, Bane. Does he have 3? He might.
I'm looking. Let's see. Bane. Yep, he's got 3.
So I wonder if that's going to be the standard for any of these Conquest characters is 3 Amis.
Feels about like it.
Yeah. And I love GAC Amis, man. That's like my favorite thing in the game. So this is going to be on my radar for sure. And then we've got that they're going to be maybe updating legacy characters for the Jedi Vanguard squad. I would be extremely doubtful because they don't make any money on updating old kits and it could potentially cause problems. They said they might. I think what that means is we're going to just give them the Jedi Vanguard tag and that's it. I can't imagine them like touching up like I'm a Gundy or, any of these other scrub Jedi like Ethkoth or anything. What do you think on that?
I can see them throwing a couple of datacrons in to make things interesting with the new Vanguard tag, but
Yep.
I don't see any fundamental reworks. I
Yeah.
wish. And maybe that could be better answered if I had read those comics. There might be 1 or 2 of those Jedi who played a very big role in that
Yeah.
story that they might give a little tweak to. Alas, not enough information.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because some of those guys just need a little bit of love, man. Like they're just so unusable.
A little?
Yeah,
A little
right.
bit.
I mean, it's just like I would love to use I'm a Gundy. I think it would be so fun. And the whole thing that you're pointing about Datacrons is that does feel like how they test things with the game is that they roll out a Datacron and maybe it's busted, but it's only around for a little bit and then it goes away. So that feels probably what you're probably right about that. There was some clarifying on some sort of like rules around debuffs. I guess she has an ability where she flips debuffs. And people are asking, like, well, what's the opposite of expose? And they sort of clarified, and they said there is no opposite expose. So if they ever make it, they'll have to go back and update this. So fun to learn that expose doesn't have an inverted side of it.
It shall be called cloak.
Cloak?
That is what we will do.
There you go. Not the first, and then this is the last bit of information on the kid here. Not the first character to transform. She has her transform mechanic where she pulls out the gun. They saying that Cassian has it, I guess, on like an Omicron. JML has it, and then C has it as well, and Galactic Legend Ahsoka. So she will join the ranks of transforming characters. Now, transforming is going to be a larger part of our conversation in a little bit. We'll get there in just a few minutes, though. Anything else on this Jocasta New? Are you excited? Are you going to be going hard for this, or are you just going to take it at your own pace?
Not going to be going too terribly hard for it now. It's going to be at my own pace, but I'm just looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting to play with the new kit, new tags especially. Yeah. Always stoked about new tags.
New tags for old characters is the most exciting thing here, but they sort of gone out of their way to say that they're not going to that they're going to introduce a whole team around this. So that's why I just have like little to zero like faith that they're actually going to make anything old good. So I don't know. Anyways,
all is in the kit and what gets released.
Yep. All right.
Part of the fun is the anticipation.
Well, speaking of anticipation, the event kicked off today, the Conquest for Jocasta New, and the feats all dropped today as well. So big shout out to Freebot, the lead mod of the hall, for his guide. We're going to be going through. If you'd like to access it, it's just pinned in the SWGOH-general channel of my Discord. And he updates these every Conquest as sort of a nice reference for the community to have. So we've got Sector 1 here. I'll read the feats, and then we can sort of talk about some teams and sort of what they do. So the feats are gain bonus turn 50 times, gain a bonus turn 50 times, attempt to inflict breach 50 times, win 10 with full resistance, and then attempt to inflict potency down 50 times. So let's start with the first one here. Gain bonus turns 50 times. This is just Vader, right? This is Vader all day long. I don't even know what Maul does. I don't have Maul.
It's Vader. Maul does a lot of bonus turns. It's just, he gets a lot of that going. Yeah.
I do remember that from the Inquisitor event. Yeah, he would just like go 5 times in a row. So yeah, that's interesting. Even Darth Maul, doesn't Darth Maul, if he kills somebody, he goes again? He gets a bonus turn immediately.
If he kills someone. Yes.
That seems a little bit harder to pull off. I think most people are just going to run out Darth Vader here, do a little Merciless Massacre, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns, bonus, and then probably just run that. I've already started with this one in my initial attempts, and I just used it with Lord Vader and Darth Vader and then just fill it out with some Empire. So this one's going to be pretty easy. Attempt to inflict breach 50 times. This is going to be super easy if you have JML. I guess he's got it on Flux, his AoE. And Paz has it as well. I don't know anything about Paz. Do you have Paz?
I do have Paz, yeah. Him under Mandalorians, that's going to do some good work there. Very, very quick breaches with that one.
Okay, cool. And then we've got win 10 with full resistance here. This is going to be super easy as well. Everybody's got some sort of resistance team at this point, probably. JTR lead was working for me already. I got 3 or 4 fights in with my garbage resistance. And so no issues there. And then in potency down, we don't see potency down a lot, do we?
We don't. But if I'm remembering correctly, it was either Anakin or Revan or Jedi Luke, one of the 3. But you could get that potency down and just use GM Yoda to like spread it around and spread it around. And I think one of them will also get bonus turns too.
Oh, so you're saying to double up here?
Yeah. You can double up on that.
Yoda gets a bonus turn when he does his flippy thing.
Yeah, that's it.
When he does the frog splash, as I like to call it, wrestling.
Frog splash. Yep.
So yeah, GMY is your key there, and then if you're, Freed's also got Chrysanthemum listed here and Ben Solo.
You can do. I mean, if you have him, help you. I think Young Lando.
Oh, I got a young
down too.
Young Lando. Okay, maybe I'll dust him off and get him going. Okay, so that is Sector 1, Des. Let's talk about Sector 2 here. I'll read through the feats, then we'll talk about the teams. Attempt to inflict critical damage down 50 times. Win 10 with the Mamas. Win 10 with the Mercs. And then gain evasion up 50 times. So critical damage down 50 times. Freed's got Dash, Basti, or Dark Basti, I should say. Pause and Saul. I have no idea on these guys. I'm fairly new with all these guys. I imagine that's that AoE from Dash, or is it the stun from Dash? I think it's the AoE.
I think it's the AoE from Dash where you're going to be getting that. And if I'm remembering right, there's some evasion down component that might be useful to throw Han under him too. So yeah, that's fantastic. Those go together really, really well. You mentioned Basti. Yep, she's also a good one for that.
Pause
And I think there's some
Saul.
evasion up going in there too, which both of those are pretty great for. You can just throw an Inquisitor in there.
Okay.
That would be nice.
Okay. And we got win 10 with the Tri-Mamas. That should be no problem. That's just Night Sisters all day long. I mean, they are so good in Conquest. If you guys haven't farmed your Great Mothers yet, I'm sort of blown away by how good that team is. You can run them down to like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 or 40, like stamina for Conquest. They just still hum, man. They're just humming along.
They just keep you going, and you put the right sisters underneath the mothers, and you're going to get those potencies too. So
yeah,
nice.
I am working on. How do you find it? I am working on. I know you're a big Night Sister fan. How do you find Marin? Because like I missed her while I was out of the game, and I'm farming her up now. But is she a game changer for that top tier Tri-Mama team?
I mean, the Tri-Mama team prevents resurrects, so in that regard, like you're not bringing anybody back.
Okay.
In the first place, like if you're putting we're gonna it's not happening.
Oh, okay.
But being able to apply plague in a team where you don't normally apply plague, that's pretty nice.
Okay.
The stuns are pretty cool. It works. It's fine.
What do you is your team just the Tri-Mamas lead with Elsbeth and then Spirit, Talia, and who's the other one?
I run. It depends. Like I personally really love running Spirit with the 2 zombie troopers.
Oh, okay.
Like that's really fun to me, just because the debuffs are flying. You're getting some speed down there, which could be useful a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're unstoppable. They're monsters, especially for Conquest. Yeah, stick them together. It's good stuff.
Okay, and then we've got win 10 with full mercs. If you got Balin, this is pretty good. Do you have your Balin unlocked?
No, he's taken second priority to GL Ahsoka. So close.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah, that's very, Desi went to a con just recently in Florida with the RSG folks, and she linked to me this awesome Ahsoka art piece she got signed by Ashley Eckstein, and her signature is gorgeous. I was like,
it is
blown away. But how was she cool in person when you met her?
She is precious. I will defend her at all costs. I love this woman. I could talk for an hour about it. We're not doing that tonight. But she refers to herself as Space Mom. And it's Space Mom. It's absolutely true. She's just a beautiful, beautiful human. We love Ashley.
Yeah, we do love Ashley. Okay, so yeah, Balin. If you got Balin lead, Freebot also has Dash lead here. Is he a merc? Mm-hmm. Dash is a merc.
He is a merc, indeed.
Dude, Dash pulling some heavy weight here.
He does a lot of work.
Yeah. So you can pair up your Dash with that, Sector 2 top one for critical damage down. So yeah, I started using my Balin lead already for this, and I'm gonna be switching over to Dash, I think, just to make it a little bit easier for myself. And then evasion up 50 times. So yeah,
Solo.
So it looks like you're going to be running a lot of Scoundrels with Dash here, and then Night Sisters. This looks pretty straightforward. This looks
I
easy,
think
actually.
one of the Inquisitors, I forget which one, the one with the hat and the evasion up.
Fifth brother, is it?
No, it's the sister, seventh sister. That's it.
Oh, the pointy hat?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, pointy hat. You could probably throw her under Palps with your
Okay.
nasty basty, because I know she does crit chance down, and she's also feeding the evasions from earlier. So
Okay.
could be a choice.
There you go. All right, Sector 3 here, guys. Attempt to inflict speed down 50 times, win 10 with Krek surviving, win 10 with Stap surviving, and then gain We Adapt or die 35 times. That is Aiden with that one. All right, so let's start at the top here. Speed down. Tons of way to do speed down. I think I normally do this with CLS. He's got what do you use here? You just CLS it or?
I mean, there CLS is an option. I like to use the mothers, specifically with Spirit and Night Trooper,
Okay.
because that's 3 sources right there.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I think I've been I need to learn more about my Night Sisters because man, I just use CLS and I call it with 3PO on all the assists because he does it on basic.
It works.
Yeah, it does work. All right, 10 with Krek surviving. You might have to go a little bit out of your way to get this, unless you're plugging it in. Maybe you're doing some weird like insta kill team with your build out.
Put him in with Luke.
Put it in with Luke. Yeah, that would work. Or you could do some insta-kill team and knock both of these out with Kreks and Stap in the same team. And they just have to survive. You could do like some very quick kill like Lord Vader with the right the build-out or something. I don't know. Just speculating on ways to knock them out at the same time. I don't have Stap. At all. This is going to be a problem for me. So I'm going to have to get some sort of functional Stap online to get these. We got time, though. Do you use Stap?
I have a Stap, and I mean, I haven't had a whole lot of use for him. He's just mostly slotted in. But whenever a droid comes to mind, right? If we've got a droid where it's like, I don't use him, but I need the droid to survive, my gut always says throw them in under Jedi Training Ray, right?
Yeah.
Because she's going to be sped up so much by all the droids, the opponent doesn't get a chance to go.
It's not a bad idea. That's an old deep cut right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
JTR lead with the droids. You don't see it very often, yeah, but that's cool. That's when this game's super fun, was when you unearth old abilities and get utility out of them, and get these feats done.
This is one of the good things about me not knowing the modern kits very well, but the old ones are super seared into my brain.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny. I came back and I was able to. It's like I did like a JTR, like one of my first matches back after 3 years was like JTR versus crew. And it just, it was all there still. Even like how to like, it was just all there. And it just came right back. It was like riding a bike. It was just crazy.
Feels good, man.
It feels good, man. We gain, we adapt or die 35 times. That's just Aiden's third ability. So you just spam that a few times. That's it. Aiden's the only one that has that ability, so you're using Aiden there. Yep. So, all right, Sector 4, win 10 with Night Trooper and Enoch. Gain accuracy up 50 times. Attempt to inflict accuracy down 50 times, so accuracy up and down here, and then defeat 35 enemies with droids. All right. Immediately, I want to talk about accuracy up. Now you could wasn't accuracy. Oh no, I'm thinking of accuracy down. There was one in the last Conquest where you had to do Cad Bane and you could do it like in one node and just take your time. It was like one of the boss nodes. And you could just apply the basic and get accuracy down 50 times in one attempt.
Yes.
So he's got Inquisitors listed for that one. But I wonder if we're going to have the same, same sort of boss fight set up to get that all done in one single fight. That would be kind of cool.
I can't imagine that we wouldn't. That would be fantastic. But even if they don't, and if someone happened to have Gideon, right? He does both.
He does
up
both.
and down.
Okay. Well,
he goes both ways, ladies and gentlemen.
So then we got Win 10 with Night Trooper and Enoch. My remnants are Garbo. This is going to be a tough one for me. I'm not looking forward to that. I might have to.
Garbage.
Yeah, they're
Honestly, like when the first time the remnant came around, mine were not fully starred out.
yeah.
They were just fine. Just a little bit of love from the consumables, you'll get it done.
Okay.
It'll
Yeah,
be fine.
yeah, maybe I gotta remember to start doing that stuff earlier. I feel like I save my consumables sort of like halfway through Sector 5, then I start using them. Just because
I mean, the stuff that you're gonna do at the end is gonna be like, that stuff with CAD, right? Where you're trying to get the accuracy down and you don't want to have all those data disks equipped that are gonna be helping you to kill stuff. No.
Yes.
At the end, you want to stay alive and not kill anything, right? So you can just keep building on that. But, when it comes to killed X number of things with Y, get them knocked out early.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we're in Sector 4 here. Night Trooper and Enoch gain accuracy up 50 times. He's got Seer and Cal for this. There's got to be someone else that has an old kit that does accuracy up. Is it like Kit Fisto or something? Or maybe he's potency up. There's got to be an old kit that accuracy up.
SRP.
SRP. Wow. That's SRP. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah. The Pathfinder. Long time. Indeed.
He was always underrated. He was always cool. I don't know. I always was a fan of him.
I've got mine leveled up. I use him pretty regularly.
Okay. We talked about accuracy down and 35 enemies with droids. Freebot says Afra with the murder bots and Shupio in that team, or Separatists if you have them pretty juiced up.
Sortie.
Or Sortie, yeah. That's a good one as well. All right, Sector 5 here. Win 10 with Shin and Merrick. Defeat 35 enemies with Phoenix. Attempt to inflict evasion down 50 times. And then defeat 35 enemies with Jedi Knight Cal. Oh, man, that's going to be a problem for me. That's 15 as well. Do not have a Jedi Knight Cal.
Oh, man. You're going to enjoy it when you do, though.
Yeah. I wonder. Well, this is going to be tough for me. I might have to. I don't know if I'm going to get the red crate. I've got some gaps here. Oh. We'll see. Let's see. Maybe I can speed farm it. I don't know. Isn't he he's got an event, doesn't he? Or is it one of those on?
Yeah, I can't remember if it's still
in the rotation.
I'm checking my journey guide right now. Let's see here. But yeah, it might no longer be on a. Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
Okay.
But I just can't recall.
Yeah.
Hey, if you can't squeeze them in there's a lot of other places. You got the globals, you got options. And if you can't red crate it once, maybe you can the next 2 times. Ranger does that a lot. He'll red crate twice, and then he just uses the 3rd round to farm up his datacrons and stuff. He doesn't even worry about red crating. So
well, that's actually a smart way of doing it, because then
2 out of 3.
Yeah, because then you're gonna get it as the ancillary shards in the next conquest, like sort of this last one we had Ezra as sort of the ancillary character. You would just finish it then at that point. So yeah, I guess that's a good way of looking at it. Just farming data.
He still gets them all at the end of the first conquest cycle. It's not waiting until the next one rolls over.
Okay.
I think he has to buy shards off of the
trader, the Jawa.
Yeah, off of the Jawa. That is a factor to make that work. Best I recall. It's been a minute.
Okay. So there we got Shit and Merrick. Totally easy if you have Balin up. I'm sure you can still plug them in at lower levels and still win 10.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be throwing them in under Seer, Malicos, Cal. Okay. They'll be fine.
Yeah. And then defeat 35 enemies with Phoenix. That may take a minute because, I don't know. Phoenix is not
it might or it might not. Again, you could get one of those nodes, and normally it's it's a Hux node, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh yeah.
Right, where you can just leave Slacker alive and just put him on auto basic and just go make a sandwich.
Oh, you're so smart, girl.
I do what I can.
And then we've got attempt to inflict tenacity or evasion down 50 times. Chupio Cal and Kersantin for that. And then defeat 35 enemies with Jedi Knight Cal. So there you go. Those are Sector 5. And then the global feats, we've got defeat 250 with the Golden Path. Don't be like me. The first Conquest I came back, I just got locked into doing the Gold Path. And I
did not.
And I just did it the whole way through. And then I think we were on stream one night and Phil's like, "Why the hell are you doing that? You already got the achievement." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So once you get the 250, you can go to regular nodes. Sometimes I still pick the gold ones if they're
More often than not,
team.
I'll go with the gold ones too. You know, it's just I'm always hunting for something specific. You know,
doesn't
those
even feel like
those Hux leads. That's what I'm always looking for.
It doesn't even feel like it's that much more difficult, quite honestly.
I think the gold ones are easier sometimes.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, attempt to inflict critical chance down 100 times. So Tarkin, Night Trooper, Shin, T3. I can't imagine using T3 for this. I'll probably just do it with my...
Oh, wait. Crit chance down?
Crit chance down. T3. Wow.
Hold on. I think I'm right on something here. You know who else does it?
Who else does it?
Nebbit.
The Chief. Oh, wow. Okay, Chief Nebbit.
You can have some Houdini fun in there, you know, if you truly hate yourself.
I wonder, you know, you can do like a bunch of like entrenched or something, like discs, and like build his like, maybe it'd be easier. Does he have to actually, I wonder if he does it on his like passive where he puts thermals out, or if he has to actually do an ability. Because that team is just not good. Oh, it's so unfortunate.
No, it's really, really not good. Let's see here, Mr. Nebbit, man. Let's see.
It's got to be like on his like taunt or something.
Special
or basic, maybe basic.
Parties. No, it's the leader ability. It's a 30% crit chance and inflict CC down for 3 turns on a crit. So if you crit with a Jawa or a droid.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Then okay. Well, you actually have to take a turn with Jawas, which is half the issue.
Take Nebbit in with T3.
There you go.
Just mentioned him, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. Look at you guys. You guys putting together these teams here. Okay. All right. Then we've got defeat 50 enemies with Inquisitors. That's pretty straightforward. 50 with Remnants. Or I'm sorry, 20 with Remnants. That's going to be a little challenging for me, but I probably can get there. Oh, with full Remnants. Shit. Excuse my French.
It'll be fine.
Full
it'll
Remnants?
be fine. Yeah, full Remnants. All of the undead troopers are Remnants, so you can just go in, right, Sector 1, do one of those repeatable nodes, get your datacrons. It'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
All right.
Just, you actually want those guys dying, right? You know, if everybody but Enoch just keeps dying and dying and dying, great. So if the data disk exists for Voluntary Vanguard, you can just have like one really good remnant out there.
Okay.
And then you can just cheese it.
Okay. All right.
You will be fine.
I'm getting a little nervous here, but thank you for the reassurance. Win 20 with full Night Sisters, and then that's going to be easy. Remove turn meter 60 times with War of Attrition. I already got that one because I bought the pass, but that was pretty easy to get. And then win 20 with full light side Mandalorians. Oh, that's going to be another difficult one. Man, I might have struggled here. I don't have a lot of. I've got like the crappy bow at like Gear 7, I think.
Mandos. I mean, you can still do it. Again, like it's those repeatable nodes on Sector 1. I make great use of those. There's usually either in like the first bonus node or the second bonus node, there'll be something you can repeatedly farm. The trick for me is just always 3 a day. Every single day. 3 a day out of those globals. 1, 2, 3. Okay, go get your energy back. 1, 2, 3. Go get your stamina back. You'll be good. You can stretch it out over 14 days, and you will be just fine, UrzZz.
Okay. Complete the battle with over prepared active. That's just a data disk, I assume. Over prepared. Yep. Okay. Well, that's the Conquest. Des says I'm going to be fine. More to come on that.
You got this.
All right. And then let's turn the page here and let's talk about GAC. Did you do any GAC last week? Last week of 5s. We're off this week.
I mean, I did. GAC. I can't necessarily say that I did well.
What
but I
league?
did.
What league are you in?
Oh, I am in Kyber 3.
Kyber 3. All right. All
Mhm.
right.
I just don't have a lot of time to devote to it. There are a lot of times like this week where I just straight up miss a couple of rounds. We usually do my GAC on Wednesday night over with RSG just because it's nice to have a breath of fresh air from all the Kyber 1, Kyber 1, Kyber 1 constantly.
Yeah.
It's a little fun. And so then I go and do my own on Fridays and Sundays/Mondays. If I
Yeah.
remember, which I did not this week. I showed up today with 15 minutes left. Almost beat him, man. If he hadn't shown up and finished clearing me, I would have had a...
Yeah. I went 1 and 2 this week, and I sort of got...
Same.
I didn't even face... It wasn't even like I couldn't even full clear. It was just that I faced people that were more efficient. They put sort of garbage out there, and I was just kind of like, oh, well, let's do the surefire thing. And I think that was my issue for losing. But yeah, I don't know. I still love GAC. GAC is such a good time, and
It really is.
I take my Sunday opportunity, my Sunday GAC. I obviously don't stream on Sundays, so I take that one as kind of like a private GAC. And I actually did. I was like, you know what would help me learn all these counters, because there's a lot of new counters that I got to learn, and sort of like trying to remind myself. I'm like, when I do a counter, I should just make a team and name it that counter in the squad selector. So that way I'm like, okay, I got a Dr. Afra Jabba counter now, and I can name it that, and then I can try it out. So there's stuff like that. So I felt like I had a stroke of genius. Figuring
You had
that
an
out.
epiphany.
Yes. Okay. So that's GAC, everybody. We're going to get into community mailbag now. And this question comes in from the community from Nemesis129, our buddy Nem. He says, Dear Desi, now that the game has the ability for characters to switch forms, what do you think would be the community response if they brought in GL, Revan Reborn, where the ultimate switches the character between light and dark?
Oh, yes. Give me... Okay, that's about what I think the community's response would be. Those noises that just came out of my mouth. Absolutely, yes.
And
please.
He says also, would the assumption be that this would be the highest GL, beating all of them, because it would have the ability to switch between light and dark? This has got to be like one of their ultimate paydays, right?
Oh, yeah. No, there is going to be a significant investment into a character like that. I don't speak the the R levels increasing right into being. We don't do that.
Yeah.
But I would certainly imagine that there would be a higher relic requirement.
Yep.
For a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And maybe, something would end up happening with mods in between here and there. I hope not. I don't want it.
Okay.
But I could see it.
Yeah, this would be an interesting, and it's a good question by Nem. It seems like they're not shying away from kits that do transform mechanics now. So Revan Reborn, I mean, the amount of just like Revan fanboys out there, our buddy Ranger included in that, like it's just astonishing. And with maybe they wait for the Fever, because there is I guess last I heard this was still in development, the re-release of KOTOR. The
I mean, it's been on, it's been off, it's been on, it's been off, it's been on again, off again. Yep. Like, who knows at this point? It feels like it's kind of Half-Life 3. Either we get it, or we just never do.
Yep.
But it's fun to dream.
Yeah, it's fun to dream. It'll be interesting to see if that game ever comes out. But if it did, think about the amount of just hype that I want to go play Revan in this game, and they could maybe they're waiting for that. I mean, that game's got to be on the radar. If it's
That's what
real,
I'd do.
If it's real, that game's got to be coming out in the next 2 years. I mean, it was announced like 3 years ago. Yeah.
One would hope.
But then, that's Star Wars gaming, Des. It's just depressing at times.
I know the studio that was doing it, they stopped doing it, and maybe somebody picked it up and maybe they didn't.
I think Aspire had it, and then they sold it to a different studio because they were mishandling it. I don't know. It's been punted around multiple times, to your point.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, it's a great question from Nem. A reminder to listeners, if you'd like to submit community mail, swing on by the Hall Discord and drop a question in the channel titled Community Mailbag. I'll be selecting my favorite question from that channel each week, so please do participate. All right, it is the fun part of the show, the best part of the show, in my opinion, my favorite part of the show. It is time for Maximum Firepower. We're going to put our little guest here on the hot seat, and we're going to test her mental limits. We're going to give her 5 SWGOH or Star Wars or other relevant topics, and our guests will respond with a short answer that best describes it. We're looking for rapid fire here, Des, so the first thing that comes to mind. Next, we will force our guests to get controversial and finish a sentence that I've started. Lastly, Des will have 1 minute to guess a randomly selected character by asking me a series of yes or no questions. And you can't have the game up. I know you have it up right now. You got to close that game.
I'll go ahead and close it.
So, and then hands up in the air, darling. Okay.
For the whole thing?
Well, when we get to the guess a character part.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Are you ready, Des? We'll break all
ready
this
as
up.
I'll ever be.
All right.
Target, maximum firepower.
Short response. Number 1, favorite Hall intro video.
Oh, Cass. Big Cass.
Number 2, favorite faction in game.
Night Sisters. Easy.
Number 3, favorite faction in lore.
Also, Night Sisters.
Number 4, favorite ship in lore.
Favorite ship in lore. Red 5.
Red 5, all right. Number 5, Togruta or Twi'lek.
Twi'lek.
All right, at a girl. All right, for short response, favorite Hall intro video. You said Big Cass.
Big Cass.
Everybody loves a Big Cass. He's. Are you excited for Andor season 2?
Yes, I think that's one of the best of the series that Disney has put out. I think it is criminally underrated.
Mm-hmm.
More people need to watch it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. You're going to love it. I guarantee.
So listen to Dez's advice, because I just completed the Luthen intro today. And I don't even have Luthen unlocked, but I got to go rewatch all of Andor. And man, oh man, this Luthen intro cooks. I can't wait to show it to you guys. But also, that show is incredible. It is so good. All right, favorite faction in game and lore. You said Night Sisters. No surprise there. Desi's been a huge Night Sister fan ever since I met her many years ago. What do you think about sort of the new Night Sisters, Elsbeth and the mamas?
Oh, man. I think that the story is going to go in some very, very interesting ways. I do love the way that they're starting to tie things together. You know, that no, really, it didn't all start on Dathomir. Like, Peridia. And that's a big thing. And, well, geez, what on earth could a giant death cult out on the edges of the universe be rallying around? You know, I have my ideas.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I was sort of lukewarm on it at first, but I think they did a pretty good job sort of building out Elspeth's character. I think she was she obviously showed up in Ahsoka and then Tales of the Empire, but I don't know. I'm sort of into it. I really enjoy Elsbeth in the game for whatever reason. I don't know.
Oh,
she's just
fantastic.
She's tanky as all hell. She's got that cool looking sword and like
Yes.
it's pretty awesome. Yeah, so I get behind you with the Night Sisters. Are pretty great. Favorite ship in lore, Red 5. We had one of our friends from the Gambit podcast, Solo. He suggested they should bring a Red 5 Rey version to the game first. The ultimate troll move.
Riot. People would riot. They would show up at the CG headquarters. Oh, God.
Now, when they bring when they bring Red 5, is Red 5 going to be a lifter for like the legacy Mon Cal Akbar fleet?
Yep, it's got to be a snack bar lifter if we ever get Red 5.
Oh,
at this point, I'm convinced we're going to get Red 5. Red 5 as soon as we get Porkins. Like
we're going to get everything, Des. If we can get Space Librarian Murder Lady, like we're getting everything. Just wait. We'll get it. This game's never going away, guys. You are never going to stop playing this game.
It's true. It'll be here even when the cockroaches are dead.
Okay. Well, thank you for that first one. Let's get controversial with Desi here. I'm going to read the sentence. You're going to finish it, okay? If I could change any one tag in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, it would be ... We've stumped her. She's in deep thought.
Any one tag?
Yes. There's a lot to think of here. CLS,
yeah, and I'm trying to like not look at the game right now.
I don't know. The one I always think about is like Jedi Knight Luke. He's not a rebel. That just seems so
you mean like
weird.
an individual? Yeah.
That just seems so weird for being so paramount, like for the overthrow of the Empire. Like he was aligned with the rebels. That seems so strange.
It was interesting to me, the two Cals, and I can't exactly remember which tag it was, but I constantly find myself frustrated going like, what do you mean you weren't a blank or you weren't a blank? I can't recall which one it is right off the top of my head. But dang it, you should always be a Jedi. You're a Jedi. But hey, I know some things are needed for game balance, so on and so forth.
Then there was the
choices have to be made.
Literally calling it Padawan Sabine, but she's not a Jedi. But Padawan Obi-Wan is. That's always a weird one too. Yeah.
I mean, time at the temple versus time hanging out with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Okay. All right, Des. Well, now it gets challenging. You're going to be asking me yes or no questions. You're going to try and guess the Holotable hero. I would recommend guessing or asking questions about tags. Yes or no questions about tags. Tags and factions. That's how you're going to get there. So I've randomly selected a character. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So light side or dark side?
Dark side.
Okay. Force user or non-force user?
It's sort of complicated, but no, probably not.
That's just a fair point. Are they a tank?
No.
Are they an attacker?
Yes.
Okay.
Narrow down the factions.
Yep. Are they first order?
No.
Are they inquisitor?
No.
Are they oh my gosh.
We've been talking about it all night.
Are they troopers? We've been talking about it. Are they mercs?
Nope. And no, they're not troopers.
No, they're not troopers. Are they scoundrels?
No. Time? Okay. So here's
all right. It's okay that I don't get it. I'm fine with this.
So here's your things. You got dark side, attacker, sort of empire, and we've been talking about it all night.
Yeah, I have this short-term memory of a gnat, as we have all just learned.
One final guess, and then I'll tell you. Is it
Wampa?
It's not Wampa. That's a good guess, though. It is Night Trooper. If you would have gotten, that's why I said sort of Empire, because they're Imperial Remnant.
See, I was gonna say, are they troopers? But then I was like, well, sort of Empire.
He's not an Imperial trooper, but he's Imperial Remnant. But if you would have said Night Sister, I think you could have got there.
Yeah, I should have.
Thank you for playing, Des. That was a good time. But we're not done. Normally, I end the show right here, but I have something special just for Desiree. Here we go.
Doing this would be worth some crystals, I kept telling myself as I walked down the dusty streets of Tatooine. The noise from the cantina spilled out onto the heat-beaten dirt roads, and I shivered despite the heat around me. This outfit had cost more credits than I had wanted to spend, but surely the payout would be worth my investment. The neon lights flickered as I moved into the cantina. The band's music rose, and my hips began to automatically swing in time with the beat. I took my drink, and spotted my mark at the tables as he jumped and squealed in delight as he crushed yet another player. And then I froze and swallowed deeply, trying to hold down my meal. God, could I do this? My contact took a seat across from the mark, and I began to work my magic. I watched intently as the match progressed, intensified, and at the most critical moment, I leaned down and licked the Gamorrean's ear, growling to him in Huttese. I love a winner. He missed his move and was defeated. Sorry, player.
Sorry, player. That is, if you guys don't know, that is Desiree in the I'd say like a couple years into the Hall, when the Hall was well established. She made her very own interlude for the Hall. And we'll have to...
Just before you quit SWGOH, which was very sad.
This is great, though. I went and dug it up, and I was like, oh, I gotta play that tonight.
Right on. I was not expecting that. Oh, Lord.
Well, Des, thank you so much for joining me this week. It was just a hoot of a good time to catch up with an old friend. Do you have any plugs you want to get in? I'm sure you have some plugs.
Yeah, of course. We'll definitely, show up, hang out with RSG. I'm there. We do our thing together on Wednesdays. It's always a great time. I'm there being my usual Chaos Goblin self. Always a shout out to Port. Viva la Port. Always. We don't need anything. And just, it's good to be here with you, UrzZz. It's good to be here with the community. Y'all make my day better every single day.
Yeah, I'm
just a happy kid.
I'm ready to buy Port. You let him know that I'm ready to buy Port. Bring him in. No, I'm just kidding. You can catch me on Twitch 4 times a week with performance GACs on Friday nights. It's the ultimate Grand Arena party. The Hall Alliance is always recruiting, so let me know if you need a guild. Follow me on X or come slum it in that squiff hole, better known as the Hall Discord. I'm around. You can find me. And that wraps us up this week. Manifesting you all health, happiness, and the most potent drop rates possible. Please get to your ship safely, and I'll see you out on them holotables. Good night, everyone.
If you enjoyed this episode of Love on the Holotables, be sure to show your support by liking this content and leaving a comment wherever you get your podcasts. Also, consider joining the best Star Wars community at discord.gg/UrzZz or attending a Hall livestream at twitch.tv/UrzZz. Thank you, and remember, the Force will be with you always.